Okay, welcome to this divination. You have landed on this particular divination because I'm picking up you are getting exhausted of finding things to motivate you. And what I was picking up in the collective energy was that it's like you are forcing nature. Winter comes, then winter's over. Spring comes, then spring is over. Summer comes, then summer is over. Autumn comes, the season is over. And then a full cycle of another season begins again. And I'm getting this energy because when you are of the world and not part of the world, you tend to move into the energy of consumption and sometimes overconsumption in this sense and urge to belong for your survival. So essentially, you are following the crowd. And I'm getting, if you are here, your time is almost up with following the crowd because you are here to lead. Yeah, and as I'm doing this, it's like I'm getting this like time. I'm clicking. I've got like my index finger on my left wrist with my hand in a fist, and it's like time is ticking. Time is ticking, and I'm getting this energy of someone like you've got a trainer. It's like you on a track of some sorts, and your trainer is like waiting for you to run, to take action, and you are still almost like contemplating, can I do it? And I want you to understand that this is not even a matter of can I do it or not. Just do it. This is where Nike's slogan really, really works. Just do it. It's not as if you haven't done it before. All you're doing is to work on improving your time. And in the hope of improving your time, whatever this means in your particular situation, improving deeper self-awareness, self-mastery, etc. You are not contemplating whether it's going to happen or not. What you're contemplating is the how. And the how, more often than not, can only be figured out once you take action. It's like you only know you can go faster when you were slow and you had that desire to improve. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need motivation. You need to take action. And within taking that action, the only time things will fully change is once you've had enough of the lack energy that comes with not taking action. So at some point, you got to be done with being embarrassed about whatever you're embarrassed about. At some point, you got to be done with being guilty around what you're guilty about. At some point, you have to stop blaming other people for how you have come to exist into this earth, your situations, your circumstances. It's about taking accountability and how to forgive yourself for forgetting your soul contracts as well. So this is not diminishing any harm that was done to you on this earth plane. It is just the remembrance that you have soul contracts for particular things to have happened to you, that they were there to help you remember who you are. And on a soul level, you agreed. On this earth plane, what breaks us from proceeding forward is the conditioning. the conditioning that everything says you aren't enough. Remember, you know who you are through who you are not. So, once you understand that process of alchemy, understanding who you are not, that gives you a great foundation to support who you are. Now, once you understand who you are, you move forward with confidence. But there's going to be a point in time in your life where you won't have to force it. Simply by your desire and taking action towards those steps, even if it's not the action that your highest self would have taken at that time, it is still a higher perspective. Consistency is going to be your saving grace. You see the vision that you've been given. You sit in gratitude with what you have been given. You ask for help. You don't have to do this alone. For those of my hyper independents, you do not have to do this journey on your own. Yes, this journey might be people who are strangers at first, who become known to you, but this is no different to the people in your family. Even your mom at a certain point was a stranger, right? Up until you got to know her. And even in knowing her, you still don't fully know her for some of you. Do you know what I mean? You know she's your mom, yeah. But you don't know her as a sister. You don't know her as a friend or boss or a colleague or someone she's working for. You don't know those aspects of her. You only know the version she is comfortable to show you. You only know the version of her that has that role attached. So, once you have had enough, you'll understand that you don't need motivation. What you really need is purpose, to focus on the vision the divine has given you over your life. It's like when I stopped drinking alcohol, I had first felt the discomfort of drinking it and what would happen with me in that space of drinking and who I would become. And not only who I would become, but who I was attracting into my energetic space, who I was evolving into. I didn't like that. So I introduced more fasting and I told myself, one day I am going to stop drinking. I didn't want to force the timeline because sometimes with certain timelines, when you put a stop to it, it can make you feel more anxious towards what is naturally going to happen, because you, by saying what you want, you've already commanded into existence that version of you that no longer partakes in that particular thing. And then I told people when I was fasting, I would stop drinking. Oh, here's a drink. No, thanks. I'm not drinking. Oh, why not? You always get that whole story of why. Then you have to yada, yada, yada. This is why I'm doing it. Blah, 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 blah. And you start to notice their discomfort. So what I started noticing is people's discomfort with me not drinking. And I was like, fam, drink. I'm just not drinking. I don't expect you to not drink. I just don't want to do this anymore. And then over time, you'd always get people going, oh, no, it's fine. One day you'll get back to it. You don't need to. Just drink one glass. You don't have to. Blah. Every projection coming in all different directions, right? But I knew what I needed to know in order to get out of that situation. And then I did a healing session with family constellations. And in that session, I remember he completely transformed into the people I needed healing with energetically through that relationship, because in our physical experience, we were just butting heads all the time. And I asked, like, how on earth, this is pure magic. How did you get to do this? And he was just like, yeah, unfortunately, I had to stop drinking. This is the way in which my ancestors started communicating with me. And I was like, it was like a motivator. So besides the feeling that I already knew that I wanted to stop, I also got confirmation on what it looks like to not drink, what's on the other side. For me, it was like clearer communication with God. I was like, I'm sold. like, you know, and slowly but surely, without wanting to rush myself, even though there were aspects of me that rushed myself. I mean, when I look back at it now, I don't even know how many years, but it's probably been close to three years of not partaking in it. And it's just like I could just see people getting so uncomfortable. And when I would start drinking, like wine was my thing. When I would start drinking, I was like, oh man, this stuff is bitter. Like I understand why when it comes to alcohol, they say it's like an acquired taste. And then I started asking myself, like, why would I want to acquire something that's so bitter? You know, at first when I started drinking wine, it was because like my older sisters did and it was cool. Like it seemed like a fancy thing. You know, it's image, it's associated with image. A lot of what we do is associated with image for all good reasons too. And I was just like, what comes with this image is not me. And now I don't even crave it. So once you have had enough, you have had enough. But write down what it is that you want. And what you might want to do once you write down what it is that you want, write it down as if it has happened, because the universe does not speak in English. I'll keep saying this and reiterating it in different ways. It speaks in what you are paying attention to. Remember, that's your form of currency. So whatever you are paying attention to is your exchange. That's your monetary. That's why it becomes so important to make sure that your frequency is set at paying attention to the highest possible vibration, unconditional love. I hope this helped you. For those of you who are like, let's wake up every single morning. Come, you got this. I mean, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I can laugh about it now, you know? And it's not to degrade those parts of me that needed that, because there were times when I needed those motivators. I needed someone to be like, get up in the morning. You got this. I needed all of that. And then some moments I needed like, dear God, I need you in my life. Please help me. You know, you have these moods, these ebbs and these flows, and it's just different aspects of you creating stories. So don't wish this experience away, but be clear and focused on your vision of what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want. And wait, take action, and keep going as you wait to see eventually your cup will be full. And once you fill that cup and it overflows, man, you won't need that thing in your life anymore, because you'll understand that you've accessified, if that's the word, your craving. Like you've satisfied rather your craving. Okay. If you're seeking help with understanding what is my purpose, because sometimes it is challenging to understand what is my purpose in this moment. Your purpose in everything is to be yourself. But in being yourself, what is the purpose around that aspect of what you are doing? How do you center everything to align with all your actions so that the people, places, and things that are aligned to this can be quickly sifted and sorted out with ease? If you'd like a private session, consultations are available. Information is down in the description below. As well as if you feel these sessions are helpful for you and you want to donate in any way or form or contribute, there is information down in the description. In the meantime, have fun whilst you have had enough. I'm giving you a big, 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 big hug. It's going to be okay.